Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy Winning Wednesday. Now, not only is today Winning Wednesday, but it is also the first day of February. So I want to wish you all a wonderful and prosperous month. Now, I need you to do me a favor. I need y'all to promise me you're going to do this. If you have a wish list or to-do list of things that you wanted to do last month and you did not get to them, can you all promise me that you're going to get them done this month? Because what I don't want you to do is to get to the end of the first quarter and you have not finished your list of things to do. Can y'all promise me that? I am so happy that I completed everything that I needed to do for the month of January, and so now I can start working on my February to-dos, and so I'm super excited about that. Now, before I jump into today's topic, I just want you all to know it is 37 degrees. It's a little on the chilly side, but I didn't want to come out here too bundled up, to take away from all this. Y'all, look at my eyes. They are giving what? They are just giving yes. Okay, I'm feeling this. I love this berry color, but I digress. Anyway, 37 degrees, y'all. This morning it was snowing, and when I say it was snowing, it was so beautiful. It was about 3:45, 4 o'clock this morning. It was snowing and it looked so beautiful outside. It didn't really stick to it was just like on the grass that it stuck. It didn't accumulate to anything, but it was so beautiful. It looked like a snow globe that somebody shook up. So thank you for that, because here in the DMV area we don't get a lot of snow, so I'll take it. And what else was I going to tell you? Oh, y'all, you know what? I was so busy doing everything else this morning, I forgot to get on the scale. Because if you know me, then you know I only get on the scale the first of every month. So that means tomorrow morning, before I eat anything, I need to get on the scale so I can capture my weight, put it in my vision book, because I track my weight and my measurements every month, and see what I need to do more of or less of. So hopefully you all are tracking yours as well. Now let's jump into today's topic. Today's topic is, and this is a little different from what I normally talk about, but these are 5 things that you should never share with anyone, as told by Albert Einstein. And when I came across this, I thought, wow, this is quite interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. So Albert Einstein, who we all know, is best known for developing the theory of relativity, but he also made important contributions to the development of the theory of quantum mechanics. Y'all can look all of that up on your time. These are things he says that you can share with other people. No, he said there are things that you can share with other people and things that you should never share with anybody else, no matter what, or how close they are to you. Because we have this mindset that if someone is like super close to us, we can tell them everything. And while sometimes that could be a good idea, Albert Einstein says that that's not a good idea, no matter how close they are to you. Okay? So Albert Einstein summarized those things into just 5. He says, because if you are able to keep these 5 things private, other things will fall into place. Okay? So let's jump right on in. Number 1, he says, don't share the secret to your success. Now, we're going to unpack that in just a minute. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that when I first saw that. He says, this doesn't mean you can't motivate people with your success, but sharing your secret with everyone isn't advisable. He says, if you tell people your step-by-step secret and they try to do what you did and they fail, they will accuse you of not telling them the truth. So it's best not to say anything. Now, I won't lie, when I first saw that, my first thought was, do what now? What? People get paid tons of money, you guys, to share their secrets with folks. And Grant Cardone comes to mind. Tony Robbins comes to mind. Zig Ziglar comes to mind. And so many others, they share their secret to success and they get paid tons of money to do it. So my first thought was, why would you not want to tell people your secret to success? But as I kept reading, I thought to myself, okay, you know what? He has a point. Sometimes you can share your secret to your success. See, and that's the key. That is the key right there. If y'all hear a fan blowing, I have my heat on because like I said, it's cold. That's the key right there. When I share my secret to success, I'm sharing the secret that worked for me. I'm sharing with you all what I did to get where I am. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think sometimes people, they miss that part when they're reading the synopsis of your life. They miss that part, that little sentence at the bottom, that this is what worked for you, or this is what worked for me or for somebody else. I'm just sharing what I did. You can try it. It may or it may not work for you, depending on what it is. Let me say that, depending on what it is. Now, if you share something like your secret to weight loss, and you're sharing how, you did the keto diet or you ate a certain way, you can share that with people. It may not work for them the way it worked for you. So you have to, you have to really, weigh your options on that one, because I do see what he's saying, that when you share your secrets, and it doesn't work for somebody else, they will get upset. However, some things that are basic things, like if you share, okay, here's a perfect example. People are always sharing how they grew their YouTube channel. They started out with a small channel. Of course, we all started out with no subscribers at all. And then you built it up into having millions and tons of subscribers. And they're sharing with you what they did. Or people are sharing with you how to grow your business. Or people are sharing with you how to start a business. Now, when you're talking about starting a business, that's something a little different, because there are some steps that you have to take in order to start that business. You've got to register that business. You need to get your EIN number. You've got to file your business taxes, and the list can go on and on and on. Something like that, that's pretty much foolproof. But when you're sharing with someone how you started something, what that person shares with you may or may not work. So you cannot get upset with them if what they did doesn't work for you, okay? Number 2, he said, don't share your problems with anyone. Now, I'm a firm believer in this one. He said 70% of the people you tell your problems to are happy that you have them. And the rest don't really care at all. So he says also, you open yourself up to be used as an object of gossip. So you do have to be careful about who you share your business to. I am a firm believer in that. You cannot just tell everybody your business, because again, most of the people that you share your business with, they don't care one way or the other. And they're glad that it's you and not them. And the rest don't care one way or the other. And so all you did was open up your life to strangers who will just sit and talk about you. Girl, did you see that video? And so-and-so was talking about this, that, and the third. No. Sometimes it's best to keep things to yourself. And it's so funny, because I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday. We were talking about this. And I said, now when you go on social media, people are so free to open up their lives to the world. And I'm like, really? Some things you just don't need to share with everybody. And I don't understand it, but people do. And I get it. Sometimes people do it because it's a way for them. Their venting helps them to get past whatever they're dealing with. And I truly understand that. But I also think everything doesn't need to be on social media. If my other half and I, maybe we had a disagreement, because we don't argue, but maybe we had a disagreement. When we go out in public, you're going to think he and I are the best thing since sliced bread, because I'm not going to air my personal business to the whole world. Y'all, guess what? You know what? And Frankie said this, and Frankie said that, he said the other. No, I'm not doing that, because everybody doesn't need to know that. That's between him and I. And I know he doesn't do that either. So what I'm saying is, be cautious about who you share your personal business with. Now, everybody should have, in my opinion, everybody should have that one bestie that that you all can talk about stuff, and what you talk about stays in that circle. And I am so thankful that I have a bestie that I know that if I need to vent, I can tell her stuff and she can tell me stuff, and it stays right there with us. It goes no further than that phone conversation, because we have that kind of relationship. Otherwise, I have to agree, don't share your personal business with folks. Number 3, don't share your dreams with anyone. He says sharing your dreams with others can affect your point of view and your purpose, and you can get caught up in it. Always remember, you will get different advice and opinions from others, because everyone has different points of view. Some people will see light, some will see darkness. Everybody won't agree with you, but keep working on it until it becomes a reality, and keep it to yourself. That I do agree with as well. When you have a dream, something that you want to accomplish, and you've been dreaming about this thing, and you've been wanting this thing for so long, and if you're not careful, you start telling people about what it is you want to do. And the next thing you know, you've got somebody in this ear telling you, well, no, you need to do this. And other people in this ear, no, you need to do that. And somebody else is in front of your face saying, no, you need to do the other. And somebody else is behind you whispering something completely different from what the other 3 groups of people have already told you. And what will happen is you start to second guess yourself. You start to second guess whether or not you can actually do whatever that thing is that you want to do. So I would agree with Albert Einstein in that sometimes you need to just keep your dreams to yourself. Work your plan, pray about it, and go out there and be about the business of making it happen. Because when you get too many people in your head, it starts to skew things. And the next thing you know, you sitting back in the rocking chair, or you're sitting in the chair rocking back and forth going, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I should do that. No, don't you do that. Don't you do that. I will come find you. Don't you do that. You have a dream. I need you to go out there and make that thing a reality. God gave you that dream for a reason. He gave you that vision for a reason. Don't you let anybody talk you out of it. Don't you let anybody tell you you can't do something. Don't you let anybody tell you, well, we don't do that kind of thing. That's for other people. Or or you didn't come from the right neighborhood, so that's never going to work. Don't you let anybody put that kind of foolishness in your head. You can do anything that you work hard at. Do you hear what I'm saying? So that's why, yes, it's best to just keep your dreams to yourself. That's why I have my vision book. Outside of my immediate family and my vision book and God, I keep my dreams to myself. Okay? Number 4, don't share your income with anyone. He says your income and personal finance should be between you and you. If you need advice on your finances, you should seek out a financial advisor, not your friends and family members. Now, I would agree with him on that. When it comes to personal finances, everybody doesn't need to know what you have in the bank, what you have or don't have in the bank. They just don't. Love your family, nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you need to keep your finances to yourself. If you need some financial advice, like you said, go talk to a financial advisor. Go talk, and they have them at your bank. Wherever you bank, there's a financial advisor there that can help you with whatever it is that you need to understand about saving, investing, all of that good stuff. That kind of stuff, keep it to yourself. Now, if you have a spouse, then yes, you all can talk amongst yourself, because whatever finances that you have and they have, you're bringing them together. Excuse me, you're bringing them together. Otherwise, keep that between you and you. Number 5, last but not least, he says, don't share your family problems with anyone. Now, on this, honey, I agree 1,000%. Okay? He says every family has problems. He didn't say some families, and that's true. He didn't say many families, but every family has problems. Some are big, some are small. However, sharing those problems outside your family can create a bigger problem. It's called family problems for a reason, and should remain with your family members and not on social media. Always remember this. no matter what the issue is, they are still your family, and you should never, and these are my notes right here. You should never allow anybody to belittle them or speak ugly towards them or about them. Okay? Never allow anybody to do that. They will always be your family no matter what. Now, let me just say this. Let me tell you what I'm not saying. I get it when you have a family member who might be sick and you're requesting prayer for that family member. It's all right to go on social media and say, I need you all to pray for my auntie or my uncle or my cousin or my sister or my brother or my daughter or my son or my mom or my dad or whoever it is, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whoever it is. It may be your dog Oscar or Carl, whatever you call your dog. That's fine. Solicit the prayers, because prayers are always needed. Amen, somebody? The prayers are always needed, but you do not need to go into detail about what's going on. If you have a family member that has a drinking problem, the rest of the world doesn't need to know that. You have a family member that's a drug addict, the rest of the world doesn't need to know that either. You have a family member that just has the can't get rights. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The rest of the world doesn't need to know that. Whatever's going on in your family, keep it in your family. Hold on, y'all, just a second. Hey, Dad, give me a few minutes. I'll be right over. Okay. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I was talking to my dad. I was trying to catch him before he left. So, what was I saying? Yeah, whatever's going on in your family needs to stay in your family. Everybody doesn't need to know it. And I'm going to go so far as to say that sometimes whatever's going on in your immediate family needs to stay in your immediate family. The rest of your family does not need to know. I have a pretty big family on my dad's side, but whatever's going on in my household, and when I say my household, I'm talking about my sister, my brother, and I, and their families, and my family. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't need to go outside of that. Just like with my sister, who I told you all just got married in December, she and Chucky may have things that are going on that needs to stay directly with their family, which is the two of them. So you have to just be careful about that, because I see this all too often, and it's very, very, very disturbing to me. It just hurts my spirit when I go on Facebook and I see people talking about their family members in such an ugly way, because at the end of the day, that is still your family member, and there's nothing you can do about it. You didn't ask for them. They were given to you. And so you have to love them. Now, sometimes you have to love them with the love of Christ. It might not necessarily always be with your love, but you have to love them because they are your family, whether you like them or not. Because trust me, there are a lot of people I love with the love of Christ, but I just don't like them, or I don't care for them. And that's just life. But again, what he said is so true. Keep your family business inside the family. You know, there was a time back in the day, y'all know some of these movies we've seen where there was something going on with the family and nobody outside of that family knew. And maybe years later, they decided to tell the story of it and do a biography or whatever of it. But up until then, nobody knew what was going on in that family. You know why? Because they didn't go run their mouths. So I'm going to encourage you all, keep family business to yourself. Quick recap, and I'm going to let you be. 5 things you should never share with anybody, according to Albert Einstein. The first thing he said was, don't share the secret to your success, because if you do that and people try and it doesn't work for them, they're going to think that you misled them in some way, shape, or form. Number 2, don't share your problems with anyone. You got problems. This is what the old folks always say: take it to the Lord in prayer. You have problems, keep it to yourself. Go seek a counselor. Talk to God about it. Or if you have that one bestie that you can truly trust, maybe then yes. Otherwise, keep it to yourself. Number 3, don't share your dreams with anybody, because you get too many people up in your ear trying to tell you what to do, and then you start second guessing yourself and you do nothing. So keep your dreams to yourself. Let people see what you've been working on. You don't have to tell them what you're working on, okay? Number 4, don't share your income with anyone, because truthfully, nobody needs to know what you make but you. Keep your income between you and you. Now, if you have a spouse or significant other and you all are doing things together, that's something different. Otherwise, keep your income to yourself. And number 5, don't share your family problems with anyone. Keep your family business in the family. That's why it's called family business. Keep it to yourself. You don't need to share it with anybody. Okay, especially not on social media. You guys, that's it. That's my time, because I have to run. I got so many things I need to do. I have a 7 o'clock Zoom call, so I have quite a few things I need to get done before then. I want to say thank you so much if you're new to watching my videos. Thank you so much for joining me. If this is not your first rodeo, thank you for coming back. Y'all know I miss you when I don't get to see you, because y'all my babies. I love you so much. So you know the drill, you know the spiel. Go out there, have an amazing rest of today, have an amazing rest of the week. I will be back on Friday with another motivational video for you. Y'all know I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Love you to the moon and back, and I'm gonna love you no matter what. I'm always gonna be here to encourage you and to motivate you, because I believe that you can do anything you put your mind to, and I want to see you all succeed. I truly do. Now, I will throw this out there, and I really have to go. If you ever find, and I need you to hear me, if you ever find that you have nobody else that you can talk to, please know that you can always talk to me. You have no idea how many times I've done a video and I've said this, and I've gotten somebody email me and say, "Shell, can I talk to you?" And I say, "Sure." So we set up a time and we talk. And whatever I talked about with that person, it stayed with them and I. And so I'm just telling you, if you have nobody else that you can talk to, always know that you can call me and we can talk. And if you just need a listening ear, I got you covered. And nobody's going to know about it unless you tell them, because I certainly will not. Okay, always know that. Listen, I love you all to the moon and back. Go out there, have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk again on Friday.